Hello everyone, this is Jim, and I just finished cutting a video about sausage, and I reviewed it, and I thought it needed an introduction. I don't want the following video to sound like I'm belittling anybody or insulting or talking down to anybody. If you are familiar with all of the material in the following video, and you're past all of that, good on you. If you're new to the kitchen, if some of the stuff in this video is news to you, or even if it just helps you and encourages you, you're the people that I made this video for. The rest of you are welcome to watch, follow along. I welcome all comments. Well, no, that's not true. I welcome all of the positive and constructive comments that are aimed at helping me encourage others to get into the kitchen and take charge of their own diet. Welcome aboard. Hello everyone, Jim again. And in this episode of Jim's Kitchen, we're going to learn how to make sausage. Now, sausage, to the uninitiated, has an air of the mysterious because most of us know it's based on ground pork, but we don't really know what the arcane secret behind turning pork into sausage is. We know it has something to do with spices. Well, for the rest of you who, like me, were basically uninitiated at all at one point or another, we're gonna crack the code. We're gonna learn how to make sausage because there are so many things that are just great when you add sausage. There may only be one thing better than sausage, and that's bacon. So give me a minute to get set up, and we'll be back. Okay, we're going to start with the recipe. And as with last week, we're going to do a recipe based on something that's posted at an online website that I have, link in the description. And the first part is always what you need. You need a bowl that's going to hold at least twice as much sausage as you plan on making. This one probably holds more like 3 times as much. You're going to need a set of measuring spoons. There are a couple of optional items. One of them is a wooden spoon. If you don't want to get your hands messy, you'll want to use the wooden spoon. But it's more labor intensive that way. That is, it takes longer to do the blending. Another option that you might want to use that is more effective, that I've decided I actually prefer, is a potato masher. You can get them with the wire looping, or you can get them like this, but the closer the elements are together, the more thoroughly it is possible to blend your sausage. Like I said, I like this guy. So that's how I am going to do it. What goes in it? A pound of ground whatever you choose. You can use turkey, you can use pork, beef, veal. It really doesn't matter. Beef is going to give you a sweet base to work with to begin with, but it's very popular to use spiced ground beef in some Creole or Cajun burger mixes. I wouldn't refer to that as sausage, but the technique is the same. So you can do what I'm doing here to make your spiced burger for your Creole or Cajun burger mixes. Because I'm making sausage, I'm going with butcher's ground pork. Nothing special, nothing spectacular. It's less expensive, and they don't put a lot of salt in it because they don't expect it to be on their shelf at the butcher counter for more than about a day. So it doesn't have to have any preservative in it at all. What else goes in it? Spices. Crushed red pepper, 1 tablespoon. Something called cumin. What is it? I don't know. I tried it, I like it, I stuck with it. Half a teaspoon of cumin. Marjoram. Half a teaspoon. Sage. Marjoram and sage are the savory part of this. It's a savory, spicy kind of a sausage. You can make sweet sausages, savory sausages, spicy. It's your choice. I use a half a teaspoon of sage. Fourth, I use paprika, half a teaspoon. And finally, cayenne pepper, a quarter of a teaspoon. So that's 6 spices. The spices you use are not cast in stone. There's lots of spice recipes. It's your chance to get creative. It's kind of like a meat rub. For anybody who's familiar with older American folk music, actually this is probably not an American tune, but there's a song that goes parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Well, the reason those 4 were picked is because they are the elements of a very popular meat rub for ribeye roast or standing rib roast. Like I said, get inventive. Try it with the base recipe once that I'm going to give you. That way, if you give me feedback or comments or something in the comments below, I'll know where you started, and I'll be happy to discuss things with you. Time to get to work. I'm going to mount my camera over my stove just because that's the piece of counter space I'm going to be working from. And then we'll get busy. Give me just a minute. And we're good. Outstanding. All right, I have the bowl that I told you needed with a couple of, with enough room in it to hold about 3 times as much sausage as I plan to make. Now, I washed my hands first, and I've just dumped the sausage, well, the pork base, into the sausage. And now we're going to start with the spices. 1 tablespoon of red pepper flake. Yeah, that's a lot of red pepper flakes. Told you I like my food spicy. There's nobody that says you have to go as spicy. You do what you want. But if you send me feedback or ask me questions or anything, I'm going to assume you started where I did. And if that's not the case, well, just let me know. And we'll work on whatever it is your question is together. Now, cumin, half a teaspoon. Sage, half a teaspoon. I dropped some, so I'm going to go a little light on this spoonful. Paprika. Okay, problem number 1. Normally, I'll be honest with you, I just use the dispenser and eyeball it. But, yeah, normally you expect to want to measure, especially the first time you're trying a recipe out. You usually end up wanting to measure them. All right, marjoram. half a teaspoon. And cayenne, 1/4 of a teaspoon. That might have been just a wee bit heavy. And now for the really tough part of this, I took the liberty of washing my hands again while I was off camera. And we're gonna start blending the spices through the meat. And that's really all we're doing here, is we're making sure we get everything mixed well. One of the problems with the fine tooth potato smasher is that it tends to get all of your sausage stuck to it, but it does a really good job of mixing the sausage really well. I'm going to use that wooden spoon to help here because it'll make things go faster. Those of you who are really sharp-eyed will have noticed that I dropped a little bit on the stovetop. It's not exactly a major loss. I mean, it's not like I dropped bacon or something. And we have just blended our sausage, that is our pork base, and our spices. And we're done. Yeah, I know. Everybody thinks sausage is more complicated than that. No, it's not cooked or browned or ready to eat or anything. But that's how you make sausage, folks. I'm not kidding. It really is that simple. It's your chance to be creative because you can play with the spices. But we're done. Take your sausage and go put it in whatever dish it is you're actually trying to create as an end result. It can be sausage patties for breakfast. It can be chili. It can be some sort of a casserole. It's sausage. Use it that way. Bye-bye.